we have 4 palettes that we will be using today. Today for you, not today for me. It will be across multiple days for me. But anyways, we will be testing out the new Unearthly Cosmetics High Temp palette. I should say relatively new. I was a little late in buying it because I was going to skip it, and then I decided that I couldn't because Don't Be Jelly went on sale. And I was like, okay, well, I really want Don't Be Jelly, and if I have Don't Be Jelly, then High Temp is the only one that I don't have in this shape format from Unearthly. So yeah, I had to buy both. Anyways, I am going to use Don't Be Jelly. I know this palette's not new, but I've wanted it for so long, and I think the color story is really pretty that I am going to do a look with this one because it's my channel and I can do what I want. As far as other new palettes, we will be using the Gourmande Girls Peach Perfect, and I really like this palette. I need to go take pictures in my front yard because, fun fact, I actually have a peach tree in my front yard, so I need to go take pictures with this out there. I'm trying to avoid like swatching it or touching it until I get those pictures taken. Anyways, and then last up is the Nomad Cosmetics Florida Keys, the Keys Beachy and Peachy palette is I think what it's called. And if it looks like it's been used, it has. I did a look with this palette already, but I combined it with another palette so I didn't feel like I could use it for this video. Anywhosies, those are the 4 palettes we'll be using. All right, so as you can see, I already have my base makeup done. I was gonna say I woke up late, but that's not true. I actually woke up early because my baby woke up early and I needed to get him settled back down to sleep. But by the time I did that, it was after my normal my normal start time to do my makeup. So I had an early meeting, so I had to start work a little bit earlier than normal and then got started my makeup later. Anyways, long story short, we skipped the eyeshadow, but I'm doing it later in the day. So if my base makeup looks like it's not wearing the best, it has been several hours at this point since I put it on. But I actually think it looks really nice, and I did feel like I had to use High Temp for today because I have an all Unearthly base on because I knew I told myself like you're gonna reach for High Temp first, but I have literally it's all Unearthly. I did pick up the Unearthly High Temp bronzer in Fair. I don't know why I had to check. I'm a Fair lady, so I knew which one I picked. I think this is such a pretty bronzer. And then I paired it with the Spring Magic blush palette. I used the shade Alchemy, this orangey one up top. Absolutely stunning. And then I had to pull in my Dreamer highlight trio, which I think is gorgeous, and I pulled in the shade Solace. I don't know if you needed to know all that, but figured since we're talking about an Unearthly palette, might as well tell you all of the Unearthly products that I have on my face right now. So I'm going to start with the shade Warm, which is this light pink on the bottom row, light pink matte. So when this palette first launched, I really, really wanted it, but it was coming out with like a whole bunch of other stuff because I think this originally launched in June and I already had all of my June purchases done. And so I was like, I can't buy it because I'm only allowed to buy so many palettes in each month with my low buy, so I told myself not to get it, and then my low buy just went out the window for the tail end of June and early July, and I was about to like knuckle back down when I saw that Don't Be Jelly was 40% off, and then like I said, I was like, all right, well, if I have that one, I can't have just one palette because I am a completionist in my soul. I am. I do hit a point sometimes with brands where like feel like I was low-key collecting the Natasha Denona palettes, but then I was like, no, we gotta stop. Like, and I got rid of a lot of those. Now I'm collecting this size of Unearthly, and what else? I would say I'm collecting Melt and Viseart, duh. And yeah, I think that's it for right now of what I'm collecting. I don't think I've skipped any Lunar Beauty ones either. So I need to get better about not buying every palette from brands so that I don't feel the need to collect. But anyways, now we're gonna go into Burn, which is the next kind of pinky shade here. And I don't know, for some reason I like thought this was just like a purple palette with, not just a purple palette. I thought it was like the orangey fiery row up top and then purples. I didn't really realize there were so many pinks, which makes me like it a little bit more, because obviously like purple doesn't blend into orange and yellow, but it does blend into pink. And then pink can blend into the other colors a little bit easier. So I think color story wise, that makes a lot of sense. I'd also like happily just like stop here for like a really pretty pink look with like a shimmer on the lid. It's super pretty. I think I posted about this on Instagram, but I'm gonna say it here. Is anybody watching Love Island season 6? Love Island USA season 6? Because I am like addicted to this show. I am so obsessed with it. Yeah, anyways. Next up we have this red shade, Heated. I am just like, every day I cannot wait for the new episodes. Also, are you all proud of me? I'm using a red eyeshadow. I am using red. Look at me go. And not for any reason other than I wanted to. Am I pairing it with pinks and possibly a purple? Yeah. But I am using red. Now I want to use Scald down here. It's like the dark, I mean it looks brown, but I feel like it's going to be like a plummy, no, that is just straight up brown. Ooh, that's really pretty though, that tone with this pink red like berry crease. I'm here for it. I was just itching my nose, forgetting that I already have my makeup done. Oh, gosh, I would love to do like the yellow orange like all matte crease, but I'm not going to because we've already used 4 of the mattes, which leaves 4 more mattes and 4 shimmers. So we got to take at least some of these shimmers out of here. So what I'm going to do is start with Toasty, which is the golden yellow shimmer up top. And that is definitely a yellow gold. For sure. That is yellow. Alright, so now I'm going to go into Glowing, which is, it's kind of like a peachy pink shimmer at the bottom. Yeah, I would say it's like a peachy shimmer. Should I do a ranking my Unearthly palettes video? I don't have a lot of the palettes, but I got pretty much all the 12 pans. And then I have the collection, the Halloween collection that they did a while ago. I'm trying to think what else I have. I mean, that's pretty much it. I think I decluttered the like other size pans that I had from them. Listen, I'm at the point where I have so many eyeshadow palettes that if you're not as a part of a collection where I'm collecting everything, you gotta go. Unless I'm absolutely obsessed with you. So, let me see. I feel like I like that. I think that's good. I think I might just do like a shadow wing with Scald, but I'm not going to show that just because it's just running shadow along my lash line, and I'm not fully decided on if I want to do that. But anyways, I'll come back and show you the finished look. Here is the finished look. I am wearing Kyla Apricot with Fringe from Miss Chelsea Smith Crowns. But anyways, here's the finished look. I need to talk about a product that is not one of the eyeshadow palettes we were talking about, but the lip oils from Gourmande girls. Why were you all gatekeeping these from me? I bought the peach one with the Peach Perfect palette. It literally smells like peaches. It smells so good, and it's like a nice and thin lip oil formula, and so it's just like sitting so nicely on the lips. Oh my gosh, I'm about to go buy like 12 of these. It's so good. It's so good. Anyways, if you've tried these, let me know in the comments down below which ones you've tried and if you like them and if I should get them. But anyways, finished look. Same mattes on bottom, pulled that yellow shimmer to the inner corner, you know, all the things. This formula feels like the standard kind of formula that Unearthly has in, I feel like at least this layout of palette, which is, as I mentioned earlier, pretty much the layout of palette that I use from them. But anyways, I think the shimmers worked really nicely. They are like a thicker, I don't want to say thicker because they're not like that putty type. That's what I always describe it as, but it's not like that creamy texture where you put your finger in it and the whole thing sort of like slides around like that, like thick texture. I feel like they're smooth, but what I think what I'm trying to say is they're more of a, not transparent. They're more of an opaque base. That's the word I was looking for. So I feel like you're for sure getting the color in the pan on your lid versus where sometimes you use some of those more iridescent shimmers. You just sort of get that sparkle, but that base really isn't there. I don't think that's the case with these, but I do think they're really nice. Very pretty, very sparkly. Mattes worked nicely. No concerns there. I really like this bronzer. Of the new stuff I tried today, I will say the bronzer and the lip oil are the highlights, but I did enjoy the palette. I think this palette's packaging is beautiful too, by the way. Like, stunning, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So anyways, as somebody who doesn't really love warm eyeshadow, I really like this palette. There's my review of it. Obviously that was the first impressions. That's my first time using the palette, so I'm gonna have to test it more. But let's go ahead and move on to look number 2. Okay, so for look number 2, we're going to be doing a look with the Nomad Florida Keys Beachy and Peachy. I think it's just called Keys Beachy and Peachy palette. Anyways, I already used this palette. I don't know if I already said that or not. So I want to do a look today that is going to be, it's going to be pretty basic, pretty easy, but, and I like debated it when I was like trying to fall asleep last night, and I was like, should I do something more exciting or should I do something basic? But I really have this idea of doing like just like a shadow wing with these 2 shades. Like this electric like teal blue shimmer is just calling to me, and I think it would be a beautiful metallic wing. And so like that's just what I want to do, and so that's what I'm gonna do. So anyways, I also think it's like a good reminder that like you don't have to do, you know, looks that have like a million different shades in them that you're blending. I of course will do that to like fully review the palette, but sometimes the quick and easy looks are, you know, the fun ones, the good ones. Like, yeah, it's okay to have low-key makeup. Am I convincing you or myself? Who knows? I do want to set my eyeshadow primer because where I usually do my wing will crease, like it'll put metallic shadow in my crease. I don't really want that. Now, am I filming this after work and I'm only gonna have this on for a little bit? Yes. So does it really matter? Probably not. Probably not. Okay, so I think this is Isla Morada down here. Is that how you pronounce it? And I'm going to, it's a very light peachy shade. I don't think it'll look like much of anything on my skin tone, so I think that'll be the perfect shade for this kind of a look. Also, my hair is not super dirty. I have like an oil treatment on it, and so I was doing like a slicked back ponytail bun. Well, it was a bun, now it's a ponytail, but I was doing like a slicked back bun look for the day, and then I took it out of the bun and now it's a ponytail. But anyways, I just wanted to clarify that my hair is not like insanely greasy. It's just receiving a scalp oil treatment. Okay, so now we're gonna take Marathon, right? Yeah. I'm just gonna do a shadow wing with this shade. Okay, I was gonna say, if you're afraid of color, this is a really good way to add a pop of color to your makeup without doing something that feels maybe super over the top. I just feel like bright liner is a classic, you know? Obviously, if you don't like color, I don't know that this is the palette for you. It is very colorful, but maybe it can be your like colorful palette where you're like, I'm just gonna use these for bright pops. I think all of these shades would pair very nicely with neutral browns to, you know, spice things up. I mean, a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. So now I'm gonna go into Paradise Found, which is that super bright, beautiful shimmer that I've been dreaming about. And I'm just gonna go right over the top. I just wanted to set the matte down first, just to make sure we really had that blue come through. Okay, so I did not spray my brush, so it was like Fallout City, but that's kind of what always happens whenever you do a shadow wing. You get stuff everywhere. So I don't think it was more than that, but I mean, that's basically the look. That's what I mean. Like, it was super easy, but I figured if I'm doing like a 4 looks video, this is the video to drop a super easy look in. But yeah, I'm going to come back and show you the finished look. Here's the finished look. This is the Deandra with pink highlights wig, I think, from Chelsea Smith Crowns. But anyways, I feel like the little pink highlight with the blue liner is such a vibe. I feel like I should go to a concert or something right now. But anyways, here's the finished look. I really like how this turned out. I do. I used the Ardell Wispy lashes just for like a more subtle lash, because I feel like with this type of a look, you don't want like big lashes that cover up the winged liner. But anyways, that's kind of the dealio with it. I don't have a ton of thoughts on the palette from this look, but I did use it with another look. I mean, I combined it with the Monteverde Cloud Forest because I needed some darker greens, and I feel like it blended really nice. I really like the pastel, like lighter shades. They're super pretty. I think this is a nice shimmer formula from Nomad. I used the yellow shimmer in this palette the other day, and it didn't crease or anything on the lid, and I wore it all day. So I'm pretty happy with this palette so far. I don't know if it's a palette that will be like more of a companion palette for me, or if I see myself doing a lot of looks with it. I need to play around with it a bit more, but I do really like this look, and so if I just keep doing liner looks, I'm not mad at it, you know? But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to look number 3. Day 3, and I don't know if I've mentioned this here. I've mentioned it everywhere because I'm super proud of the fact that I have a peach tree in my front yard, but when I saw this palette, like when they first just showed the packaging, I was like, I should get it because I have a peach tree and it's peach perfect. And fun fact, another fun fact about me, I was actually born in Georgia, so I am a Georgia peach, even though I've lived in Arizona most of my life. But anyways, I love peaches. All of that to say, I love peaches. So I was gonna get it, but then I felt like I was buying so much that I was like, no, don't get it. And then I saw my friend Alicia with Alicia Budget Beauty. I saw her do a look with this palette, and I was like, or I think she did multiple looks, duh. But anyways, I saw the first look, I think it was, and I was like, okay, all right, you got me. So I purchased it. I'm super excited about it. It's beautiful. I do wish it smelled like peaches, but I purchased the bundle with the peach lip oil. I'm obsessed with this. I think I've already talked about it in this video. I'm filming this in like a weird order, so sorry about that, but here we are. All right, let's do a look. All right, so what I really want to do is take this shade Peach Please. It's like, this is the only shade that I feel like leans a little bit more teal than green. I don't know. It's like a mix of teals and greens, I would say, in here. But teal and orange is such a good color combo, so I get it. My lids are primed with the About Face Shadow Fix Primer. That is always the primer I use. Usually I don't do my base makeup first, but I had early morning meetings today, so I couldn't film before work, and I wanted to still look not presentable, because you don't have to wear makeup if you don't want to, but I don't know. I just didn't want to come on with my, like, looking like I just rolled out of bed, you know? I feel like you could stop here. That's like my tagline if I ever made merch. I feel like that's what I would need to have, because I feel like I always say that, but you really could. Like, if you're ever somebody that just wants a pop of color, like, you truly could just do that and be done. It's so pretty. Let's do, especially if you're somebody that's into, like, more of that, like, editorial, like, refined makeup look, you know? I don't know why I said it like that, but it felt appropriate. Oh my gosh, this next shade name. The Peach Boys. So funny. Right, that's the shade we're gonna use. So it's this one down here. That is hilarious. This might be too dark for me. Ooh, no, it's so pretty. I already feel like this was a great purchase. I'm happy with this purchase as of this moment right now. 2 shades in, haven't even swatched it yet. I mean, it was worth it alone with the lip oil, jeez. But the palette's fun too. Oh my god. You guys, come on. Come on. That's so pretty. Also, I feel like Gourmande Girls has an underrated matte formula. At least right now. Maybe I'm like, can I remember? I really liked the Silent Night palette too. I liked the mattes in there a lot. I'm trying to remember how I felt about Haunted and Nightshade. But I don't think I had issues with those mattes. Oh no, gotta reflect on that more. You guys, oh my god, this is beautiful. This color combo, I am living for it. Living. Oh my god. I like don't even want to do anything else. I just want to like slap peaches and cream on the lid and call it a day, but I'm gonna, I mean, I could do an all matte look. Wouldn't that be funny? Ooh, I could do the satin and just sort of like pop that in the middle. I might do that. Let's see. This will be like an almost matte look. Okay, so Peachy Keen is this satin up here. So I'm gonna try and just put that on the lid. Like because we were just blending and I assumed I was gonna cover it with a shimmer. I have sort of matte shadow all over the lid, but I don't know, I'm just kind of like into it right now. I am gonna spray my brush just because I always do, even though it's a satin shade. I don't know if I should have done that, but sometimes you just gotta go for it, you know? Ooh, yeah, that's like a very subtle shine to the lid. It's not super sparkly or anything. It's very pretty. I feel like I don't know who I'm turning into because I did like just the liner look yesterday, and then I was like, oh, sparkly shadows, no thanks, let me go for this like satiny look. But that's really pretty. I really like it. I don't know, I guess I'm feeling very subdued lately. I will absolutely be continuing my series where I revisit my prior month like purchases for this is a July purchase, so you'll see me use these again in August. TBD on if I go harder with the look then, but this is really, really pretty, you guys. I like pictured what this look was gonna look like in my brain, and it's somehow even prettier. Okay, I'm gonna try my finger with the satin just to see if that's a fun application too. I mean, it performs like a satiny shade, so it's not like giving a ton of shine or shimmer, but I feel like it's like it's doing what I wanted it to do. So part of me is like, what do I even do beyond this except like add lashes? Like, I might do, I'm just gonna add a little, I'm gonna try something. I hope I don't ruin it. So we're gonna take I'm Peachless. You should buy this palette for the puns alone. It's pretty funny. I'm gonna do, this is a brown shade. I'm just barely, I just want to add like a little bit more depth to my outer corner. And like, I don't want to do a wing. So I'm just like kind of doing this in like a wing shape. But it's gonna be smoky, so it's just like a little bit, so just so you can see the difference between the two. Do you see how that added like a little bit of extra depth? I'm gonna blend over it. It's not done yet, but so let me figure out what we want to do on the lower lash line. I really don't want to mess this up, so I'm just gonna go for this beige matte eyeliner. Okay, so I'm gonna try this shade Peaches and Cream right here. I'm gonna try it in the middle of this peach please to see if it brightens it a little bit more. It does, because I just wrapped Peach Please around my inner corner. This is the finished look essentially with just mascara. Obviously I don't have anything on my lips, but I will come back and show you everything with lashes, probably a wig, you know how I be. Here's the finished look several hours later. I am actually about to go to craft night, so I changed my outfit, but I feel like this brown, it works with the look. But anyways, here's the finished look. I wore this all day, love it. I did touch up the like minty teal shade under the under eye that had faded a little bit, and then I just went back in with that satin shade on my finger. So this is slightly touched up, but I've been wearing it for 11 hours, so there we go. Anyways, oh, not 11 hours, because I did my base makeup first. My base makeup has been on 11 hours, and I had my glasses on, so that looks awful. The eyeshadow, 8 hours. It's the eyeshadow. I had to do the math. Anyways, yeah, so this was it. I really like this look. I really like this palette. I actually swatched this palette too, and you guys, these mattes are so freaking pigmented. It's honestly insane. Like, it's really crazy how well these swatch. And then obviously we saw them and they performed well in the eye. Like, you see that pigmentation. I used the, like, I used the lightest teal shade, and that's that one. And then this isn't the lightest peach, but it's still really bright and pigmented. Anyways, I don't know. I just thought that was nice. Yeah. Okay, what do we got? Oh, we have one palette left. We have the Don't Be Jelly palette. Ooh, I'm excited. Last look. I have orange spit up on my shoulder. My son ate some carrots earlier. So now come back on my shoulder. I know that's gross. I probably should have changed, but I'm like this close to having all of my clothes clean. And I don't know if the rest of you are like me, but when you're like this close to having all your clothes clean, you're like, I'm not gonna dirty another set of clothes and then I just have more clothes to wash. I don't know. Anyways, it's a whole thing. Don't worry about it. I don't know if you can definitely see this in the frame. Anyways, last day, last look. Don't Be Jelly. Here we go. This palette is older. I think this is like the remaster version. They had the original Don't Be Jelly, which I did have. I loved it, but I didn't reach for all shimmer palettes, so I decluttered it. And then they redid this version of it, and I really wanted it. And I can't remember why I skipped it. I think I told myself, like, you decluttered the original, you can't buy that palette again, but it's totally different. So, anyways, we're gonna do a look with it. I don't know what I want to do. I've seen so many pretty looks with it. Part of me kind of wants to do a blue look, just because I'm like, I never do blue eyeshadow. What if we did green and blue, but no purple? Because normally I'm a green, blue, purple girl. But if I just did green and blue, I think I'm going to try it. I'm going to try green and blue. Let's do it. Let's just go for it. So I'm going to start with the shade Seafoam. And my lids are actually primed with the Smashbox Photo Finish shadow primer because I cleaned my vanity and I do not know where my About Face one went. It's in this drawer. I just I like was pulling old stuff out of the drawer, and so the old stuff's now in the front. And yeah, anyways, doesn't matter. I don't know why I skipped this palette because this color story is so like right up my alley. Like it's really weird. I've had it on my wish list. I must have bought a bunch of other palettes at the time and just felt like overwhelmed or something. I really can't think of why I skipped this one. Oh, I wonder if it launched with a pre-order. That will get me because I am not a fan of pre-orders. I hate them, actually. I just don't. I don't like pre-ordering stuff. I'm an instant gratification girly. So, although I just ordered a bunch of C Beauty palettes and those take a minute to come to you, but you know, makes sense. All right. They're traveling a far distance, you know? Okay, so now I'm going to take the shade Lagoon. I wonder if these shades kind of, like, because right now this part of the color story is reminding me of the 1964 palette from their Halloween launch a couple years ago. I wonder if that's why I talked myself out of it. I really like that 1964 palette, by the way. I feel like that was an underrated palette in that launch. Okay, so I am gonna do purple. I'm gonna do this dark shade Sea Urchin just for more depth, but it is technically purple. So I really like that crease. It's super pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna swatch these shimmers to figure out what I want to do on the lid. Okay, I'm gonna take the shade Aquatic. I just had a different thought. I know what I'm gonna do. So now I'm taking Sea Space, which is the shimmer up here. That is super pretty. Okay, I'm going to do literally the exact same, oh my god, literally the exact same mats on bottom that I did on top, and then I'm gonna do something on the inner corner. I haven't fully decided yet, but you will see it and I will tell you what I did right now. Okay. Here is the finished look. And one, you will not believe how sweaty my neck is right now with this long wig. This wig actually got chewed up by my dogs, so she's struggling a little bit. I gotta fix her, but I was desperate to just like throw one on, so it's the first one I grabbed. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Oh, here's the look. I am filming this 4.5 hours since you saw me last because had to put my son down for a nap and then cook dinner, go eat, like all the things, do bedtime, all of that. This lash is barely glued on, it's holding on for dear life. Anyways, overall, really like how this look turned out. It's really, really pretty. I'm sad I held out on this palette for so long, but oh, it is stunning. Everything I expected it to be. I will say I have one part in this outer corner where that like shade Sea Urchin is just disappearing, but it's not happening on this side at all. So I'm gonna guess I didn't put the primer all the way, but it's definitely like a noticeable difference between the two eyes. So anyways, if it was happening on both eyes, I'd assume it was the palette. Since it's happening on one eye and not the other, I'm gonna assume it was a me issue. But let me know in the comments which of the 4 looks was your favorite. I think I really liked the Peach Perfect look. Let's see. It's a tie between this look and the Peach Perfect looks, I think, were my 2 favorites. Yeah, I think those were my 2 favorites. Anyways, that's it for me. Let me know, like I said, what you thought of the 4 looks, which one was your favorite, all the things, if you have any of these palettes, yada, 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 down in the comments, and I will see you all next time. Bye!